Question 1. What is the chain of custody? Answer. When keeping track of data or equipment for use in legal proceedings, it needs to remain in a pristine state. Therefore, documenting exactly who has had access to what for how long is vital when dealing with this situation. Any compromise in the data can lead to legal issues for the parties involved and can lead to a mistrial or contempt depending on the scenario. Question 2. What is the difference between a black hat and a white hat? Answer. This particular question can lead into a major philosophical debate about freedom of information, and if something is implemented in a deliberately broken way, it isn't actually breaking into it, etc. etc. The one I have heard the most is the classic Jedi example: same tools, different ideologies. Personally, with the people I know that have worked on both sides of the line, it comes down to this: the difference between a black hat and a white hat is who is signing the check. Question 3. Why would you bring in an outside contractor to check the security issues? Answer. Much like getting a fresh set of eyes on a problem. Sometimes you have people that don't want to see or don't want to admit to an issue. Bringing in extra help as an audit can really help eliminate problems that your team isn't able to resolve on their own. Granted, they may cost a small fortune, but they are extremely good at what they do. Question 4. What is SSL connection and an SSL session? Answer. SSL or Secured Socket Layer Connection is a transient peer-to-peer communications link where each connection is associated with one SSL session. SSL session can be defined as association between client and server, generally created by handshake protocol. There are set of parameters are defined and it may be shared by multiple SSL connections. Question 5. Why was Proofpoint selected? Answer. Proofpoint is a clear leader in Gartner's Magic Quadrant for Secure Email Gateway. Proofpoint is also a leader in Gartner's Magic Quadrant for Enterprise Information Archiving. Moreover, Proofpoint has products to match our email security portfolio, albeit more feature-rich, and has products that extend to adjacent messaging areas which Intel Security does not have. Further details on the partnership will be forthcoming shortly. Question 6. Why is it easier to break into a Windows local account than an ad account? Answer. Windows local accounts have a great deal of baggage tied to them, running back a long way to keep compatibility for user accounts. If you are a user of passwords longer than 13 characters, you may have seen the message referring to this fact. However, Active Directory accounts have a great deal of security tied onto them, not the least of which is that the system actually doing the authenticating is not the one you are usually sitting at when you are a regular user breaking into a Windows. Question 7. What is SSL and why is it not enough when it comes to encryption? Answer. SSL is identity verification, not hard data encryption. It is designed to be able to prove that the person you are talking to on the other end is who they say they are. SSL and its big brother TLS are both used almost everyone online, but the problem is because of this it is a huge target and is mainly attacked via its implementation, the Heartbleed bug for example, and its known methodology. As a result, SSL can be stripped in certain circumstances, so additional protections for data in transit. Question 8. What is the difference between vulnerability and an exploit? Answer. A lot of people would say that they are the same thing, and in a sense they would be right. However, one is a potential problem while the other is an active problem. Think of it like this. You have a shed with a broken lock where it won't latch properly. In some areas such as major cities, that would be a major problem that needs to be resolved immediately, while in others like rural areas it's more of a nuisance that can be fixed when you get around to it. In both scenarios it would be a vulnerable. Question 9. What is the three-way handshake? How can it be used to create a DOS attack? Answer. ACK is the acknowledgement of the server back to the client, saying that yes, I hear you, let's open a connection. Sin/ACK is the final connection, and allows the two to speak. The problem is that this can be used as a very basic type of denial of service attack. The client opens up the SYN connection, the server responds with the Sin/ACK, but then the client sends another SYN. The server treats this as a new connection request and keeps the previous connection open. Question 10. What is the difference between information protection and information assurance? Answer. Information protection is just what it sounds like, protecting information through the use of encryption, security software and other methods designed to keep it safe. Information assurance on the other hand deals more with keeping the data reliable, RAID configurations, backups, non-repudiation techniques, etc. Question 11. Why are internal threats oftentimes more successful than external threats? Answer. This means that if you see somebody that pokes around day after day, month after month, you might get used to the fact that he is just curious. You let your guard down and don't react as quickly to possible threats. On the other hand, say for example you have an annoyed employee that is soon to be fired and wants to show his soon-to-be former employer that he can bring them down. So he sells his still active credentials and card key to a local group that specializes in white-collar crime. Question 12. What is worse in firewall detection, a false negative or a false positive? Answer. Far and away is a false negative. A false positive is annoying but easily dealt with, calling a legitimate piece of traffic bad. A false negative, however, is a piece of malicious traffic being let through without incident, definitely bad. Question 13. What is an easy way to configure a network to allow only a single computer to log in on a particular jack? Answer. Sticky ports are one of the network admin best friends and worst headaches. They allow you to set up your network so that each port on a switch only permits one, or a number that you specify, computer to connect on that port by locking it to a particular MAC address. If any other computer plugs into that port, the port shuts down and you receive a call that they can't connect anymore. If you were the one that originally ran all the network connections, then this isn't a big issue. Question 14. What is the difference between closed source and open source? Which is better? Answer. Open source, however, provides the source code to be able to inspect everything it does, as well as be able to make changes yourself and recompile the code. Both have arguments for and against them. Most have to do with audits and accountability. Closed source advocates claim that open source causes issues because everybody can see exactly how it works and exploit weaknesses in the program. Open source counters, saying that because closed source programs don't provide ways to fully check them out. Question 15. What is exfiltration? Answer. Exfiltration is just the opposite, getting sensitive information or objects out of a location without being discovered. In an environment with high security, this can be extremely difficult but not impossible. Again, we turn to our friends in the fake delivery uniforms wandering around the building and see that yes, there are ways to get in and out without a lot of issues.